Hey guys, today I just wanted to take a look at the polling data for the 2020 presidential election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So as you can see here, Joe Biden currently has a 9% lead over Donald Trump according to national polling averages. He did peak in late June when he had a 10.2% lead over Donald Trump, right? If we can find it, right there on June 22nd, he had a 10.2% lead over Donald Trump. His lead since then has narrowed down a little bit. He's up 9% at the moment. And as you can see here, his polling numbers have stayed pretty consistent over time. He's always had a 5 to 6% lead over Donald Trump until the beginning of June. This is really when his lead took off because of the Black Lives Matter protests that began all around the country. As you can see here at the end of May, this is when they began. As you can see, Biden's numbers just jumped up very quickly since then. And then so now he has a 9% lead. If we look down here at all the polls, Biden basically leads by double digits in almost all of them. He leads in the high ones in the other ones. So this is looking very good for Joe Biden. And in this video, I'm just gonna compare his polling to polling in the past for other nominees in past elections, and just compare how well Joe Biden is doing compared to nominees in the past. So first, I'm going to compare Joe Biden to Hillary Clinton's lead in 2016. As you can see here, I've narrowed up the map. This is around June, mid-June. Mid-July. This is when both candidates became their party's nominees. So of course, this is the Republican convention bump for Donald Trump, and then the DNC bump for Hillary Clinton. And the largest lead Hillary Clinton had in the entire election cycle was right here. 7.9% on August 8th. Joe Biden's lead right now is already larger than the largest lead Hillary Clinton ever had in 2016. This is very good for Joe Biden. As you can see here in 2016, the polls narrowed up in around mid-September, and then after some debate performances that were bad for Donald Trump, his numbers fell again. And as you can see right here, this is right at the end. This was the quote-unquote October surprise for Hillary Clinton. The FBI director said that they would reopen their investigations into Hillary Clinton's emails right before the election, and so this is why, as you can see, Clinton's numbers dropped right before the election, and Trump's went up by around 4 to 5%. And Hillary Clinton right before election day, she had a 3.2% lead over Donald Trump. She did still win the popular vote. She did lose the electoral college, but she did win the popular vote, underperforming by around 1.1%. So the polls did were pretty close in 2016. As you can see, 46.8%. She won 48.2%. So that is not too bad for Hillary Clinton. She did lose the election. She did have a 3.2% lead. Even though she had, even though she won the election by almost 3 million votes, she still lost the election. But if Joe Biden were to win the election by 9%, there really is no reasonable way for, Joe Biden to still lose the election if he were to win by 9%. So now I'm just going to compare Biden's numbers to Mitt Romney's and Obama's in 2012. As you can see here, I'm just going to narrow up this map as well to July, or, mid-July. This is when typically nominees become their party's nominee. And so as you can see here, Barack Obama's largest lead he ever had was 4.7%. Barack Obama was not very approved of. He had around a 50 to 48 approval rating at this time, in late 2012. But he was able to get it back up right before the election. He led by 0.7%, and he outperformed his RCP average by quite a bit. He had a 3.9% lead. He won the election by 3.9% in terms of the popular vote. As you can see here, Barack Obama's largest lead was 4.7%. Barack Obama is a much more popular candidate than Hillary Clinton, ever was, and his largest lead was only 4.7%. So this is very good for Joe Biden. I think that this is all looking very good for Joe Biden. He is outperforming basically every single Democratic nominee in a couple of decades. So now I just want to take a look at the betting odds for Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. At the moment, Joe Biden has a 20.4% higher chance of winning the election. He's up 58 to 39. As you can see here, what's interesting is that Donald Trump, as you can see according to this graph here, Donald Trump has never been ahead in the polls. He has always been behind Joe Biden. However, up until the riots began, Donald Trump had a consistent 8 to 9% lead over Joe Biden in the betting odds. So betting odds, they're not polls; they just show who people think is going to win the election. And it's a good way of measuring this because you're putting your money on the line for who you think is going to win. And as you can see here, it was really the protests that really gave Joe Biden the edge he has now. Coronavirus. After coronavirus, Donald Trump's numbers went up, but it was really just the protest that really has made his numbers drop significantly. Up until now, Joe Biden has a 20.4% lead in the betting odds, and this is it's a pretty good lead for Joe Biden. However, if we compare this to 2016, this really is nothing compared to 2016. As you can see here, this is of course after the election, so of course Donald Trump had a 100% chance of winning after election day. However, before that, Hillary Clinton was leading 15. She had a 70% higher chance of winning the election compared to Donald Trump. Of course, because of the October surprise with the email investigation, Hillary Clinton's numbers dropped quite a bit right before Election Day. However, it did go back up on Election Day. Right before Election Day, Hillary Clinton had a, let's see, she had an 81.8% chance of winning the election, and she still lost. So if we compare this to 2020, Joe Biden only has a 20-point lead. However, I think that this is just because in 2016 Donald Trump was heavily underestimated. Nobody thought he was going to win. That's why he only had a 15% chance of winning. But right now, he has already won the election. He has already won an election. He is the incumbent, which is why he's no longer as underestimated as he was before. However, he is still, it's still not looking good for Donald Trump. And so that is it for this video. I would like to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like as well as subscribing to my channel. And tomorrow I will be releasing my full 2020 election prediction for the month of July. So make sure you look out for that. And so thank you for watching.